Hey guys, it's Pets for Life here with another video about budgies. This one is going to be a video to answer some questions and give some tips about budgie breeding. So, as I mentioned in my older video, you need to have a bonded pair. Some signs of them bonding are the male will sing to the female, they will scratch each other's heads, or the male will regurgitate food to her. So once you have a bonded pair, you can introduce a breeding box. That is, of course, if you want to breed your birds. If you just want to have a bonded pair but you don't want them to lay eggs, just don't introduce the breeding box. They will not lay eggs if they have nowhere to put them. So a breeding box. You need a breeding box, not a nest. I've seen some YouTubers advertise nests as a good option for budgies. That really isn't true, because a female budgie won't be able to sit in it comfortably and lay her eggs, and when the eggs hatch, the budgies won't have any room to move around. So you want a breeding box. You want to fill up the breeding box with aspen shavings, and you want to make sure that the breeding box itself has this little concave cutout so that the eggs don't roll around. You can attach your breeding box on the inside of your cage or on the outside. That just depends on how big the cage is itself. Because my cage isn't too big, we attach it on the outside with wires, and we just cut out these little wires so that the hole is like attached to the cage. Some other things that people have said that have noticed is the male, I guess I can pull it as like bullying the female and like always like pushing her to the box. That isn't bullying. That's just the male encouraging the female. That's really common and there's nothing to worry about. Okay, so another thing that you need to make sure you have is a good source of calcium for the female budgie, because she needs calcium in order to lay healthy eggs. So you need a cuddle bone for sure. This is a new cuddle bone, and this is what my female did to the old one. When you see that this is happening to your cuddle bone, especially from the female, and she's hanging around a lot, that's usually a good sign, because it means that she's getting calcium, in order to lay healthy eggs. So this one like broke in half, and she completely chewed it off, so I had to replace it. Another thing that you can get is a breeding supplement. This just gives them extra minerals and, again, calcium in order for them to lay healthy eggs. I got that just at Petland. And I don't know if it's been working, but they have been drinking it, so hopefully, they do have some sort of effect on them. Alright, so another thing that, as far as feeding your budgies, another thing you can give them is just cut up some hard-boiled egg and mix it with a couple breadcrumbs, and that will give them a good amount of protein, which also helps in, producing healthy babies. Another question that I get asked is, does it matter what age or what color or what type of budgie they are? No, that really doesn't matter, as long as they're both budgies. So I have a rare budgie, and I have just a normal green budgie. It doesn't matter about the color. I mean, obviously, the color will affect the baby. So if you want to have interesting babies, you might want to do, two rare parakeets or, a blue and a green, and just see how that works for you. It's pretty interesting to see that. But as far as coloring, that doesn't matter. They're budgies. They both respond in the same ways. However, about the age, it usually doesn't matter what age they are. It's good if they're the same age. It's good if one is younger or one is older. But personally, I think that if it's your first time breeding and you want to have a successful breeding, I would recommend getting an older female, just because a younger female could lay infertile eggs or could not take care of the eggs properly. So I think an older female is better. But really, it doesn't matter. This pair that I have right now, the female is actually younger, and they're pretty successful. So far, they've been hanging around the breeding box, and, I've been observing pretty much all the signs that you need to see in order to have your budgies lay eggs. So I'm assuming it should be, just a matter of time before she lays eggs. People ask me also, will I notice on my female budgie if she's pregnant? No, you generally tend not to notice that stuff. What you will or might notice is the female budgie starting to pluck around like the bottom part of her abdomen, and she'll leave feathers like in the breeding box. So that's just her prepping to make sure that she can like take care of the babies and heat the eggs properly, and just have the feathers as like a nice downy sort of almost like a comforter in the box for the babies. So that's usually fine. Another thing that you need to make sure you have in order to bond your budgies is a good variety of perches, because the first thing in bonding, the male will dance for the female from perch to perch. So it's an important thing to have a good like variety of perches for him to just like jump all over. But yeah, that's basically all you need to know about breeding. Again, if you have any more questions, feel free to email me at foreverpets@gmail.com, or you can leave a comment below. So yeah, I hope I've answered some of your guys' questions, and thanks for watching my videos.